Today on the net, Egyptian activists tackle sexual harassment in Tahrir Square. Spy agency employees displaying a certain lack of discretion on social networks. And a video showcasing the arrival of autumn to New York City. With the Egyptian opposition in fresh protests against Islamist President Mohamed Morsi and his draft constitution, activists are trying to tackle the all-too frequent cases of sexual harassment of women across the country, and more specifically during demonstrations in Cairo's Tahrir Square. This mini-news report posted online by Mozarin, a group of filmmakers and citizen journalists, takes a closer look at the phenomenon, with activists explaining that the majority of attacks follow the same pattern. A group of men encircle the victim so as to isolate her from other protesters. A tactic they suggest is to deter women from joining the protests in Tahrir Square. To stop these assaults becoming increasingly prevalent, one group of activists has set up the Tahrir Bodyguard Twitter account to collate reports of any incidents and recruit volunteers to act as bodyguards for female demonstrators. And as we can see in these photos, which have been posted to social networks, the volunteers, who are easily recognizable by their hard hats, have even erected a watchtower on Tahrir Square to monitor the movements of suspicious-looking crowds so they can intervene as quickly as possible when required. One of these watchmen, Mahmoud Otman, has written a post on his blog saying he prevented 10 or so attacks in just one day, and hopes his contribution will help stamp out the problem of sexual harassment on Tahrir Square and also across the rest of Egypt. Spy film enthusiasts will tell you working for state security or intelligence agencies requires a certain level of discretion. But not all spy agency employees seem to respect this golden rule, and some have shown astonishing naivety by posting all sorts of details on their social network profiles. Well, this is what Belgian daily De Standaard is claiming in its online edition. Whilst perusing the LinkedIn social network for professionals, it found that the names and posts held by members of the country's state security agency were available for all to see. And according to the site Naked Security, this phenomenon is not exclusive to Belgium, claiming there are around 200 LinkedIn members promoting themselves as employees of the CIA. The site condemns their actions as foolhardy, saying these people could, for example, find themselves victims of highly sophisticated cyber attacks carried out by terrorist organizations looking to infiltrate the organization they're working for. And so, to avoid this kind of eventuality, most of the world's security agencies are now trying to set out and implement guidelines for employees using social networks. The FBI, for example, has published a manual online with advice for its agents on how to safely use these sites, detailing a list of possible threats they may encounter whilst browsing the web. The guide reminds them that human beings are a weak link when it comes to cybersecurity, and they should be particularly wary when it comes to online activity. Visit the Canadian Arctic or hit the slopes in over 90 winter sports resorts around the world from the comfort of your own home. It's now possible with Google Street View. The web giant has recently enriched its mapping service with a host of panoramic views, so web users can discover the great Canadian North without having to brave the cold.
To a map, making it more up-to-date, more reliable, and the thing about map making.
Last week, the Chinese army successfully completed a series of test runs on the country's very first aircraft carrier, the Liaoning. The military exercises received a great deal of media coverage, and 2 officers at the fighter jet's takeoff appear to have been a great source of inspiration for Chinese web users. In these photos posted to social networks, countless netizens have imitated the officers' move in all sorts of unlikely scenarios, each one as wacky as the next. And as we can see, firemen and police officers have also got in on the act. Jamie Scott selected 15 spots around Central Park and filmed them twice a week over a 6-month period to put together this magnificent time-lapse video entitled Fall, showing us the change of seasons and the arrival of autumn to the heart of New York City. An explosion of colours that will be a surefire hit with nature lovers everywhere.